Hello, TikTok. Let's talk before God come into my life. Let's go from the mid to late 2000s, from like 2005, 6, 7, 8 on. Low time in my life. I was drinking weed all nine yards. Didn't care about much. Got into this, got into that, got into the wrong crowd. I never stole or robbed or anything like that. I didn't get into that at all. But drinking or whatever, you don't know what that's going to cause you to do. If it causes you to do anything, go along with whoever you're hanging with, stuff like that. So yes, I was hanging with the wrong crowd. Now I don't hang with the wrong crowd. I don't hang around anybody. Well, hello, TikTok. That's me again. Since we're on this train right now of Gen X, let's talk a little bit about my story and the way I am, how I am. I started off not such complicated life. I mean, I grew up, my dad was in the military, I moved from town to town, and when I remember, I was 2 years old, around 2. And I remember, but I don't remember anything before, but maybe photos I made, but don't remember the house. Let's say growing up, I was in the country. I basically raised myself, drank out of the water hose, ate out of the vegetable garden, raised chickens, played in the woods. If my mom actually called my name and I was nowhere near the house, I'd hear her all the way down in the woods where I was playing by the creek. And I would actually come up or yell back that I'm down at the creek so she knows where I'm at. And usually I didn't have a curfew. I could stay up as late as I wanted, do whatever. I mean, school nights, yeah, but even going through school at my age, I mean, I was basically born with a learning disability through my dad's Agent Orange that he got. And I couldn't get how they were teaching the other students. So I just wound up going through school as best I could, and then when I turned 16, I mean, I quit, and I learned more on the street and by making my own mistakes than I'd learned from anybody else. Yeah, I know you saw that, but that's okay. This is Gen X time. But I mean, I basically started off like a normal childhood. Went to the Boys, well, it wasn't Boy Scouts, it was, what was it? It was Wolfpack, I think. One was Wolfpack, and I think the other was Coyote Pack or something like that. But I wasn't in them long at all. Most of the time I got around with a group of friends, playing around the town. They had, this was basically, well, let's keep it at where I am. From Darlington, I wound up moving to Lowesbridge, Indiana. I think it was Lowesbridge, Indiana. And my aunt and uncle owned it, and they had a strawberry patch in the field and stuff like that. I used to get into all the time and stuff like that and just play. There was a group of kids that built a bike track, a round bike track, so they could play round jumps and stuff like that, hidden tunnels and stuff like that on that. But the first basically almost fight I got into with weapons was in Oxford, Indiana. What's the second one? There was some dude that wanted to try to bully me and stuff like that, and I carried a brick to school, and I wound up swinging a brick on him, and he left me alone. But the first time I was in Lowesbridge, Indiana, and there was a group of kids hanging around like trailer park or something like that, came around my neighborhood or whatever, and he came wanting to fight, so he had a knife in his hand. And I was like, dude, what's going on? And I wound up pulling the knife from him before he even knew it, but I wound up cutting his finger when I did. I didn't mean to cut his finger. I just wanted to get the knife away from him so I wasn't going to get stabbed or something like that when I was younger. I mean, I had a lot of fights growing up. Some fights I fought, some I didn't. Some weren't even worth my time. I just walked away from them or whatever. But when I walked away, I didn't turn around and walk away. I backed up like 10 feet, then turned around and walked away, depending on what to do. If the person was still standing there or coming at me. And that's about my mentality back then was basically fuck around and find out. If you want to mess with me, but I'm only gonna take so much at the point in time because I was raised Gen X. I was raised feral. I mean, like I said, I raised myself, I did this, I did that. If I ate, I wound up making my own food, all that. Either out of the garden, in the woods, or wherever else I could find food. Like my grandma had a rhubarb patch and a gooseberry patch I got into all the time when I went up there in the summers and stuff like that. And that's basically what I did. I snacked on stuff, I ate, and stuff like that. And just basically doing all kinds of stuff that none of the kids do now. I mean, we did it all. We risked our lives every single day. And if we got hurt, we buckled up and threw ourselves back together and went on with our life. I mean, that's just how we were raised. I mean, we weren't raised to go crying about it and go to mommy and daddy about it and stuff like that. I mean, when we were younger, probably under the age of, let's say, 5 or something like that. But after we got 6 and up, boom. It was just by ourselves doing what we wanted to do, no matter what the consequences were at the time. I mean, I've done this and that, and got the consequences when I got home. And I usually, when I was growing up, sometimes it was a belt from my dad. But my mom actually made me go pick my own switch off a tree. If I picked one that was too weak, she'd go pick a bigger one that was 3 times the size. And she nailed me one time. I was in Darlington, Indiana. I was jumping out of the barn, back and forth out of the barn, just playing. She grabbed, went and got a stitch on the way, got a switch on the way. I didn't pick it. She got a big one. And she switched me from the barn to the house, and that was probably a good 250 feet away. I never jumped out of that barn again. I went in and played in the barn, played in the hayloft and stuff like that, but I never jumped out of that window again. Unless I knew she was nowhere around. And it's usually what we did. And I remember, like in Darlington, if I couldn't swim down to the creek and she wouldn't let me go down to the creek to swim, I'd actually swim in the cornfield. And I've lost probably a lot of shoes doing that. She said, well, where's your other shoe? I said, it's out there in the cornfield somewhere. She'd usually make me go out there and try to find it. I couldn't find it. They'd break down and get me a new pair, go to thrift stores or whatever. And just buy a cheap pair and not some expensive pair like all the other kids get now. They get $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 shoes or some shit like that. That's bullshit. But I mean, growing up the way I did, I mean, I grew up just like every other Gen X out there. I'm not better than any Gen X out there. I'm equal to every Gen X out there because of the way we were raised. We were raised to fuck around and find out if you want to keep fucking with us. We're meant to wake up, and we're gonna fucking wake up no matter what people say about it. We can stand toe to toe with one person or a million fucking people. We don't fucking care. We go on. We may get our ass kicked, but we will get back up, or they will kill us, one or the other. Because to stop us, they need to kill all of us, and they're not going to do that because we have all the stuff that's going to take to win this. And we're going to win it being Gen X people. And people are going to start joining us that are scared of us because they don't need to be. you're on our team, we'll work with you. We're not going to work against you if you want to be on our team. But we will conquer everything that's happening now and get back the America we grew up in. That's what we want. We don't want all this other bullshit about, oh, this is happening, that's happened, this disease is happening, or that one, where this, where that. Fuck all that. If God wanted us to die of some man-made disease, we would already be gone. There'd be no world left. Because the only reason our families are staying together is because of us. We're the ones with the glue holding everything together. If we weren't here and they started their shit, you guys would just be probably sheep in line. We'll fuck around and find out. You want to come for us? Don't come for our kids, because you ain't getting nowhere near them. But I'm only 15 seconds in, so it's going to have to be another time for another story. But I got a lot to talk about, and y'all need to start listening. Stay blessed, y'all. Have a good day. Hello, TikTok. This is part 2 of my story. I'm going to switch it up a little bit, and I'm going to add why my heart is the way my heart is, and I'm the way I am. Not worrying about anything, not caring about anything, but not caring about anything doesn't mean I don't care about anything. It means if you want to try fucking me over or doing this and that, I don't give a fuck about that. I mean, if someone wants to come to me the correct way, I'll give it a shot. Other than that, I won't do it. But like I finished with that rant, I'll get on to why my heart's the way it is. So last time on my story, it was basically fuck around and find out.
Well, they come in, but they don't stay.
I'm going to go back to Darlington, Indiana, when I first actually broke a bone. I know I was under 8 years old, but it was, I wound up, my sister telling me to jump off a chicken coop because Dad was coming. I should have just stayed there and let him help me down. But I jumped and I landed wrong and I broke my foot. And after that, I broke my back. But before that, when I was in Darlington, Indiana, which is where I'm talking about, I wound up watching some cartoons or something, or somebody like parachuting or something. I wound up getting a towel or a little blanket or something like that. And I was going to make a little parachute and jump off the top of the barn, which was probably a good 50 to 100 feet up. And luckily my dad caught me before I did it, and I got down and stuff like that, and I never did that again. That was stupid. If I would have done that, I'd be in a wheelchair now, which I'm glad I'm not, because I want to break my back twice. First was when I was 8 years old, and the second when I was 15, when I was in Groveland, Florida. I think it was like Ivy Street or something like that. There was a chief of police owned the house and my dad rented it. And there was a tree right out in front, but when I went to climb it, I grabbed a branch that was bigger than my arm, but I didn't know it was rotten, and I went straight down onto a tree root that was out of the ground, and I hit my butt bone, and it T-boned my T12 vertebrae. And that was, God, a long time ago. That was over, 30, 40, 35, 40 years ago? Or no, like 30-some years ago, because I was 8 and 15 at the time. So that was a while back. But I did the church thing with my mom on Sundays or whatever, went to church, that kind of stuff. But my dad never went. But I wanted to stay home, and sometimes I got to if I was sick or something like that, or I would stay home, help Dad or something like that. But I mean, church thing I really didn't get into. But when I first broke my back or whatever, God was in my life since I was born, because I was a real lucky person. Even when I was growing up, I was lucky. And even till now, I'm still lucky doing this. If I manifest something, I get it at some point in my life, which I've done in the past. And everything that happened to me, like with girlfriends and stuff like that, either cheating on me or scamming me out of money over the phone or some shit like that, doesn't really bother me. I still have respect for that person, but I don't have the respect that person, the significant other in my life, would deserve. I mean, I'm not mad at them or kind of some disrespect about what they did, but I forgave them already. I'm finished. I moved on. And I can move on from anybody. It doesn't matter who it is. I've moved on from family before, so let's just put it that way. Just certain members or whatever that I don't want nothing to do with because all they bring is bad into my life, and I don't want that. I want all good. That's why, like 4 or 5 years ago, I let God in my heart, soul, mind, and body completely, and that was due help with the chiropractor to get me to see what I needed to see at the time. And that was to the chiropractor I know. And that was later on in life, that was like 5 years ago. But getting back to when I was younger, when I first broke my back, 15 when I did it the second time, like I said, in the tree on Ivy Street or whatever. But I mean, after that, I mean, I've had girlfriends, I've had this, I've had friends backstab me, girlfriends backstab me. Almost everybody in my life backstabbed me except for family. Well, some members, yes, but not the immediate members or whatever like that, because they'd never do that to me, because they know I never do it to them. But my light shines so bright because I let God in completely, and that's why my light shines. But my light shines way even before I did that. My voice actually, I have people in rooms and stuff like that where I'm like doctor offices and stuff like that. They have to tell me to lower my voice because my voice is so loud, it resonates through everywhere. I mean, once I start talking, people can hear me. No matter where I'm at, they're going to hear me. I've been in my house with the radio on singing. And the radio was loud, and I sang above that radio with everybody in like my rural area where I live hearing me. I've had my mom and my nephews heard me before when my mom was living next door, and the renter I have now actually heard me singing when he first moved in. I just do it if I'm cleaning or something like that. I listen to the radio, I just sing along with it depending on if I like the song or not. And on singing and all that kind of stuff, you could say I'm basically a jack of all trades, master of none, but it's always better than a master of one. So I can do numerous things everybody else can do, except for there's a lot of people out there who can do one or two jobs perfectly, but screw the rest of them up. I mean, I've picked up mechanicing, welding, carpentry, painting, any kind of thing I pick up real easily, and it just kind of sticks if I like it. If I don't like it, it don't stick in my head, but if I really, really like it, it sticks in my head. I've tried, you name it, hobbies and stuff like that. Just really not into like football and baseball card collecting or model cars and stuff like that to build, or macrame with paracord, stuff like that. I mean, I've basically done a lot of stuff on like archery and sharpshooting and stuff like that. I've been able to do. My dad was a sharpshooter in the military. I wound up a sharpshooter. I mean, I don't have 20/20 vision, but if I need something, whatever, like if I need to eat or something, I get shot every time. Excuse me. Try to breathe and talk at the same time. That's what you get. But yeah, like I'm saying on my light, I haven't seen it in the past, but I see it now. That my light resonates through the whole place of where I've been. I mean, I leave an impact on about everybody I meet or talk to. they think I'm one way, but they find out, well, he's completely different. I mean, what's going on? That's because I'm basically a loner. I stay by myself. I'd rather be by myself than with anybody else. Now, if I get that significant other in my life, and then me and her will probably be inseparable. And I rely on her, she relies on me, but you gotta come correct in the beginning, because if you don't, I don't want nothing to do with it. I've already turned down millionaires and billionaires girls that have so fucking much money that they don't know what to do with it. I've turned them down. And I'll turn them down flat if they don't come to me correct. I don't care what they got, because I cannot now, nor will I ever be bought. No one can buy me. I'm not for sale to anybody. But if you really want my life, see my light and show me you're going to come correct. Because if you don't come correct, I don't want nothing to do with it. I've got about 19, 18 seconds, so this is my second part of my story. There'll be more, because I got a long way to go on moving to Florida, this, that, and the other, and stuff like that. But y'all stay blessed and have a very good day. Thanks for everything. I know how you run. As InfoSnipe searches through his laptop, trying to find out. Well, hello TikTok. I'm back. This video is going to be, let's say, about dating in junior high. There are certain things you should do and there are certain things you shouldn't do. So let's say you got a chance to hang with your friends or hang with your girl. Now, who are you going to pick? Are you going to pick your friends? Or are you going to pick...
I'll have to adults, not kids. So.
Hey guys, did you know some drivers are ditching their car insurance and they're doing this instead? Now,
deep in the untamed wilderness where shadows dance and danger lurks behind every leaf, a legendary tale unfolds. I'm about to tell you the story of Infosnipe, a master of precision and stealth, and his former student, Snipeshot, two expert marksmen whose paths were destined to cross one final time. Years ago, Infosnipe took Snipeshot under his wing, teaching him everything he knew about survival in these treacherous jungles. The art of patience, the perfect shot, and most importantly, how to become one with the darkness. But as with many master-student relationships, ambition and rivalry began to simmer beneath the surface. The jungle floor became their battlefield, riddled with cleverly concealed pit traps and snares. Native wildlife from jaguars to tapirs learned to tread carefully, as both hunters had transformed this dense rainforest into a deadly chessboard. The air grew thick with tension as their game of cat and mouse intensified. Snipeshot had learned well, perhaps too well. He began to believe that to truly become the best, he needed to defeat the one who taught him everything. There could be only one true master of the jungle, he would whisper to himself as he set his traps and marked his territory. Infosnipe wasn't surprised when he found his former student's challenge carved into a tree trunk. He had always known this day would come. The student's eagerness to surpass the teacher was as old as time itself. But Infosnipe hadn't taught Snipeshot everything. Some secrets he'd kept close to his chest, knowing this day might arrive. As the morning mist rolled in, both warriors took their positions. The jungle fell silent, as if nature itself was holding its breath. Every rustle of leaves could be a footstep. Every shadow could hide a barrel. The challenge would test not just their accuracy, but their wisdom, patience, and cunning. Who would emerge victorious? The experienced master who had walked these paths for decades, or the ambitious student who had youth and determination on his side? As the first ray of sunlight pierced through the canopy, both knew that this was more than just a contest. It was about legacy, honor, and the price of greatness. Let the sniper games begin, and may the jungle bear witness to this ultimate test of skill, where only one can claim the title of Supreme Marksman. In these dark depths, every shot counts, every movement matters, and mercy is a luxury neither can afford. The stage is set, the players are ready, and somewhere in this vast underbelly of the jungle, two souls prepare to write the final chapter of their shared story. Who will prevail? Only the jungle knows, and she keeps her secrets well hidden beneath her dark canopy. In the heart of the untamed, dark jungles, where shadows dance and danger lurks in every corner, an epic battle of wits unfolds between two master tacticians, Snipeshot and Infosnipe. The air is thick with tension, and every rustle of leaves could signal either victory or doom. Snipeshot, known for his cunning strategies, carefully analyzes the terrain. His hands work tirelessly, weaving complex snares from vines and fashioning deadly pitfalls beneath the innocent-looking forest floor. Each trap is a masterpiece of deception, designed to catch even the most vigilant opponent off guard. But InfoSnipe is no amateur. Years of survival in these treacherous lands have honed his instincts to near perfection. He sees through the obvious and anticipates the unexpected. For every trap Snipe shot sets, InfoSnipe crafts two more, turning the jungle floor into a deadly maze of concealed dangers. The forest itself seems to hold its breath as these two masters of survival circle each other. Ancient trees witness their deadly dance, their branches creaking in the wind like spectators at a primitive arena. The beasts of the jungle, normally bold and fearsome, retreat deeper into the shadows, sensing the intensity of this human confrontation. Through the dense undergrowth, massive pythons slither silently, while jaguars prowl on nearby branches, their eyes reflecting the occasional glimpses of sunlight that pierce through the canopy. These natural predators, usually the kings of this domain, now watch with curious caution as two humans transform their hunting grounds into a battlefield of ingenuity. Hour after hour, the complexity of their trap network grows. What started as simple snares has evolved into an intricate web of counter traps and false leads. Every step could trigger a cascade of consequences. Every movement could spell disaster. The jungle floor has become a deadly chessboard, where one wrong move could end it all. But as day turns to dusk, both warriors begin to realize something profound. Their mutual respect grows with each clever countermove, each brilliantly conceived trap. The very skills that make them formidable opponents could be the key to their survival in this unforgiving environment. As night approaches and the jungle's most dangerous predators begin to stir, Snipeshot and InfoSnipe face a critical choice. Continue their deadly game of cat and mouse, or combine their exceptional skills to face the greater threats that emerge in the darkness. The real battle for survival might not be against each other, but against the primal forces of nature that surround them. The question hangs in the air like the heavy jungle mist. Will these two master tacticians find a way to turn their rivalry into an alliance? Their very lives may depend on the answer, as the beasts of the untamed dark jungle close in, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. In the depths of this untamed wilderness, a tense game of predator and prey unfolds. The air is thick with anticipation as massive beasts prowl the perimeter, their heavy footfalls echoing through the trees. These creatures, with their primal instincts, circle endlessly around what they don't realize is a carefully orchestrated maze of death, a labyrinth of concealed pitfalls and ingeniously crafted traps. From my vantage point, I watch them move with surprising grace for their size, unconsciously mapping their repetitive paths. They're creatures of habit, these beasts, following the same trails day after day. It's both fascinating and terrifying to observe their raw power, knowing that one wrong move could bring them charging in my direction. But I'm not here just to observe. I'm InfoSnipe, and this is my domain. Above in the canopy, where the leaves whisper secrets of survival, I've made the treetops my workshop. The height gives me both safety and strategy, the perfect vantage point to engineer more sophisticated traps. My fingers work deftly with ropes and triggers, creating mechanisms that would make any hunter proud. The beasts below remain oblivious to the deadly web I'm weaving above their heads. Each trap is a carefully calculated risk, positioned where they're most likely to trigger them. I've studied their movements for weeks now, learning their patterns, understanding their behaviors. This isn't just about setting traps. It's about outsmarting creatures that could tear me apart in seconds. Time is both my ally and enemy here. With each passing hour, I methodically expand my network of traps. Some are designed to capture, others to deter, but all are placed with surgical precision along their well-worn paths. Snipe Shot, my trusted companion, works the ground level, complementing my aerial strategy with ground-based snares and triggers. This is more than just survival. It's a deadly chess game where every move must be calculated. Every trap must serve a purpose. The beasts may have strength and numbers on their side, but we have something far more valuable: intelligence and preparation. As the sun sets and the shadows lengthen, our trap network grows more intricate, more deadly. Soon, these powerful creatures will learn that in this domain, brute force means nothing against careful strategy and patient preparation. In the eerie silence of the dense forest, a deadly game of predator and prey unfolds. The air is thick with tension as savage beasts begin their calculated approach, circling what they don't yet realize as a killing zone. Their movements are deliberate, methodical, each step bringing them closer to what they believe will be their prey. Watch how they move, these cunning stalkers. Their instincts are remarkable,
I might be able to
really.
set that up.
One by one, they trigger traps set along their path, but these aren't ordinary beasts. No, they're far too clever for simple pitfalls. Each trap sprung is a
Wait
trap
till it's
avoided.
done, I'll try it.
Their agility and intelligence on full display as they navigate
set
the
my thing
treacherous
there.
terrain. The
Which is right there.
confidence
Put
in
my
their
fucking
movements
top of it.
grows
Hook
with
it up
each
and play.
successful evasion. You can see it in their eyes, that predatory gleam of anticipated victory. Slowly, steadily, they converge toward the center of the killing zone,
Let's do
where
that.
they believe their quarry awaits. Little do they know they're walking into something far more sophisticated than mere ground traps. High above in the ancient trees, Infosnipe and Snipe Shot watch silently. They've been 3 steps ahead since the beginning, studying every movement, anticipating every dodge. While the beasts congratulate themselves on avoiding the obvious traps below, they remain completely oblivious to the true threat lurking in the canopy. The dead falls